my channel, mammals. We're now going into a new space. I hope you can not be too frightened. Come with me. It gets worse before it gets better. Step up, step up. Come along. And now it's better. Come on. This was the old attic door right here. You can come on through. Okay, my friends. This goes either up to the attic, which is where we built the cupola and built the gabled windows and made it for Richard and me to stay in, or it can go across to the original part of the house. This is added on, remember, out where we just were, and this is the original part. Come with me. Now, when we lived here, instead of this little piece, there was a full armoire, and it's where the toilet was, inside the armoire. It was really great. And then we had this basin here for washing up, and a bathtub. And we had a bigger division here, like a curtained off area. So there was the basin, the bathtub, and the water closet, which was an armoire. And it was so much fun. It had a really small little toilet in it, and it functioned just like a regular bathroom, but it was in a closet. So this is the back side of the stairs here. And again, you can see how we play with the different colors of paint and the anaglyptic wallpaper you see here. This is called anaglyptic wallpaper. It's really for a ceiling. And then, but you see we built shelves coming out of the back of the stairs so you could use it as a bookcase. And then this fireplace we built, and we did all this work, this bas relief work. Isn't it pretty? This fireplace is so great. There used to be a bench right here, and our bed was, we slept in this room for quite a long time, and our bed was here, and it was all covered in curtains all the way around. It was so cozy. But we could build a fire here and sit by the fire, or change our clothes by the fire when it was cold at night. And it was just such a perfect, it was really beautiful. But if you look closely, you can see all the details of this, all the way. And then mainly lots of things have changed here. It's much more comfortable. Look at, I mean, we never had anything this comfortable. We never had anything this comfortable. Isn't it amazing? I can't believe it. Oh, we just never thought of just, you know, being comfortable like this. It was so much fun. And then these are some of the same drawers from the dry goods, you see, and that we built in up here. And then we built these two closets, and it's been evolving and changing ever since. Let's see, we even built in a little chest of drawers underneath the stairway there, so we could use all the space really usefully. I love that little corner over there. It's great to see it again. And then here, again, we built cupboards underneath the stairs so you can keep games and things. And over here, this was Heather's room. And when Heather had this room, one day, when she came home from a holiday from school, you know, she went to school in England when she was a little girl in ballet school. And she came home, and it was a cold, kind of not the best time. You couldn't go out and play, really. It was snowy and cold. So we decided together to paint her room. And it was the best holiday I've ever had with Heather, because the whole time we were in her room just playing with how we were going to paint it. So it doesn't look the same now, but it was all painted like being inside of one of our pots with all the different patterns, and it was the most playful room, and it was the perfect thing to do with a young girl, because it was playful painting. It was really meant to be painted with the glee of a child. So it's not like that now, but I can just give you an idea ahead of time what it was like. And now it's very much more sophisticated and beautiful. But she had an armoire in here that was also painted, and everything, the windowsills, everything was painted, and the back of the door. Now it's all very clean and very fresh and beautiful. But it was perfect for Heather before. And she had so much fun, and we'll never forget that time together. And then this was her closet, and her closet was like a dream come true, because it was like she kept all of her things on shelves. And look at these old pegs, aren't they great? These are the pegs that were always here to hang things on. Isn't it great? But all of her toys were on shelves. So it kind of looked like the inside of a little girl's own dollhouse in a way, because all of her little creatures and little chairs for everybody and all the things that Heather loved were always on all of these shelves. And then her dresses were along here. And can't remember where the light, oh, here's the light. And then her bed came out from here at a diagonal, and she used to practice the ballet at 5 o'clock every morning. She would stand at the end of her bed and do her exercises. You know, every exercise was done right here at the end of the bed, and she would, do all the different positions and constant and then extending and all the things that you need to do to practice ballet. She did it all by herself with nobody needed to remind her, because it was her dream and she made it real for herself. It was really exciting. And one time when she was away at school, I thought, I'm going to do a real thorough cleaning underneath her bed. So I went down underneath her bed. It was a smaller bed. It wasn't a big bed like this. It was a twin-size bed, but it was a beautiful old iron bed, similar to this. This one is a brass bed. So anyway, I went under here and I was thinking, oh, I've got to get all the dust out from under here and clean and get it all organized. Oh, this bed is much lower to the ground. I can't show you. Her bed was very tall off the ground. And guess what I found under there? I found her whole world underneath the bed. She had little signs hanging from the rungs, the slats under her bed. And one of them said, God is love. And one of them said, the alphabet and all the different things that children learn in school and in Sunday school. And she had all of her animals in rows of chairs and benches and things that she had made. And it was so funny, because I was missing Heather so much, because she was far, far away from home in England. And to go under her bed and to find her whole world under there was my best present. It was such a gift to see that all those little animals and everything from her early childhood days were all still under there having classes. And I just noticed, I put my hands on this, and this is a stool that Richard and I made. A stool on wheels. See, we love to have stools that you can push in and out. Isn't it pretty? It's so beautiful. Look at this. These are different kinds of hem tape, you know, just little silk hem tape that we gathered up, different colors. It's faded a bit now, but I love it. And this glows in the dark. This cord around here, if you came in here at night and turned on one little light, see, there's the bottom. Here's our crest. And a little bug. Ooh, it's a dead bug. Anyway, see, this is our crest. V and R, emprise. And do you know what emprise means? The word emprise means a chivalrous pursuit. And enterprise just means a pursuit. But emprise means a chivalrous pursuit. So we were so proud to try to live up to that name. And then see these little tops of the thistle? Well, we made 5 of them. One for Richard and me together, back to back, and one for Heather, and one for Nils, and one for Whittica, and one for Felix. And this beautiful tartan is actually a photograph that I took of Richard's kilt, his MacKenzie kilt. And then I took a dark photograph and a light photograph, 2 different kinds of lighting, and made it all into this crest. So, and these iron wheels are just like the kinds of wheels that the carts on the piers used to use to go down the piers to go pick up things from the longshoremen. Isn't this great? So again, when you sit in a chair, especially one of Ann and Chet's chairs, which are so comfortable, then you can put your foot up on our stool, and you can pull it up, you can push it out, you can push it out of the way so you can get up, or whatever you want to do. Okay, let's go to another space. Let's go visit the lavatory, in case anybody needs to. As our friend Miss Vickers says, and lots of people from the South, if somebody wants to find a lavatory or a restroom, she'll say, oh, we need to see if we can find a place because Frederick wants to wash his hands. It's so cute. She never, and I remember when I was growing up too, nobody said we needed to use the restroom or anything like that. It was more like we need to wash our hands. So if you'd like to wash your hands, come right in. So this is the bathroom that was on the second floor of the house. Now, what's interesting about this, I was thinking about this when I was just in here the other day, and I thought, you know, I'll never forget when we first did this. You see all of this woodwork, the wainscot around here, all the way around? Well, we made that out of an old armoire. And it just looked terrible. And it was probably just, I think it was found in the cellar of the house or something. And it just looked awful. But by the time we refinished this beautiful oak wood, it looked beautiful. And so we built this bathroom to look really pretty. And then there's the basin. And here's the mirror we put in, all from the very beginning. With all of our toothbrushes were lined up in here, these little slots. And then over here, the bathtub with these windows all the way around it so you could look out at the fields when you're taking a bath. And in the ceiling at the time, we had all of our old family pictures. So you could lay down in the bathtub and look up at the ceiling and see your great uncles and your great aunts and your grandparents all looking down at you whilst you're taking a bath. And then we put in this, we made these tiles, and we put these clusters of pears and plums and grapes on them because we didn't have any use for these decals. These are old decals of, ceramic decals, so they're fired on. And the reason the bathtub is raised up is because, and see there are slats under here you can put your fingers through, because the heat is under here. You feel the heater? And the plumbing for the bathtub itself, it had to go somewhere. So we built it up on a platform. So that's why it's up like that. But it's kind of grand that way, I think. Okay, and the ceiling is still the way we had it, with ribbons and bows. And I mean roses and ribbons, or ribbons and roses. And the roses are made of mesh, like screen doors. Very fine mesh, brass mesh. And these lampshades we made, one year we went up into the deepest, darkest part of Alaska. And there were so many birch trees. And the birch trees, the bark comes off of them. It just naturally sheds its bark. So the bark is not killing the tree. When it's coming off, it's peeling off like a snake's skin. And so we would save all the bark and make these beautiful little lampshades, all by hand, with the bark from up in, and little tiny pine cones and little jade beads. Let's look at the other one. Might have more texture. But I love how they look, inside and out. Oh, this one's more expressive. See the bark? Isn't it beautiful? And it's quite expressive back on this side. I think this has changed with humidity, because I don't think we didn't make it that way at first. But I just love them. It looks like a mountain range in the snow blizzard to me. Okay, and now there's another surprise. Another pocket door. See how it fits into its pocket? And another bedroom. And actually, this is the first bedroom that Richard and I stayed in when we first slept here, when we first came to live here. And you can see, going across these beams, you see these marks? Well, what was here was the lath, like down at the main, on the main entry there. But I wish we had saved this lath, because it was much more beautiful. It was hand ripped apart wood that was split by hand. And so each one was so wobbly, and it also helped to hold the plaster on because of the irregularities in the wood strips. And all these marks are the water marks from years and years of just living, I guess, in the plaster, that's kind of sunken into the wood. And then these were pegs, peg holes, where the things were held together with that. Everything is pegged together. It wasn't nailed. They didn't use nails. They used pegs. And this wallpaper we found, and it's ancient wallpaper. Come up close, you can see it. It's silver, and it's hand-painted wallpaper. Look at these beautiful birds. Isn't it amazing? And then, and the floorboards, they're, I love how, look how wide some of these floorboards are. Look at this. That's one board. Look at this one. This one's real. There. Look at, this is a board right here. It has a crack in the middle, but from there to there, that must be 2 feet wide. I'm sure it's almost 2 feet. And the thing is that the boards, you can't see them there, but on the main floor are narrower. And the boards on the upper floors, when you get up to the floor above here, the boards are even wider. And you know what's interesting? Is in the attic, they put the widest boards because it wasn't considered as refined. And they wanted their main floor to have cut boards that were cut, not just the width of the tree, but all exactly the same width, because it was considered to be more finished. Whereas up here, you know, they didn't care if they had a narrow board, a sort of wide board, a wider board, a much wider board, a really wide board, a little narrower, and wider, narrower, wider, narrow, and then, and it was considered, you know, like less quality. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, I just love how things change, you know, how our idea of beauty changes and elegance changes. It's really fun. So this is where we first slept. And I remember I was sleeping right here. And I had a very hard night's sleep. I couldn't really sleep. I was just so uncomfortable. I never had trouble sleeping. But this night I just didn't know how I was gonna. And finally I pulled back the blankets and the sheets, and I started to get up, and my whole face and my hair were covered with dead flies. I just wanted to go back. I thought, I can't believe this. The ceiling had fallen down. The old plaster had fallen in the night, right on me. Chunks of plaster, like just falling on the floor and all over the place, and I was like pulling flies out of my hair. It was so awful. The ceiling had come down right where I was. And I thought, oh, I can't believe we're here. What's happened? Where are we going to go from here? You know, we were here, we had no, I wondered what to do about, I was so discouraged. But it started us peeling down the whole ceiling and just loving all these watermarks, and again, where the lath was, and come over this way and you can see the beautiful chips, you know, of the hewn boards and beams, and this old fireplace that's just dripping with, you know, old cement and plaster, and it's just so beautiful. I don't know. And then, you know, in front of all this was built these big windows that look like they have a very finished. And so this was amazing. And then here, this was actually, I can't remember how it worked. Anyway, we're here staying, so our clothes are hanging in here, but all those boards were there, and that wallpaper was there. Okay, so this was a trunk closet that opened. It didn't open, I don't know, I think it opened there, but it also opened here. And this wasn't shelves, it was part of the trunk closet. So there was quite a large trunk closet back in between all of this. And then I'm wondering if, I think we should go up to the next level.